everyone. My name is Barnabas Veszelovszky, and today I will be talking to you about verbal and nonverbal forms of communication. Watching Layla Tacconi's TED Talk, I was very impressed by the way that she spoke to such a big audience and at such a young age. Some of the key takeaways that I got from her verbal communication was her change of pace in her tone and in her volume. Throughout the entire performance or talk, she would change her pace, going from low pitched and talking about certain aspects of nonverbal communication and then changing it up to keep it more exciting for the audience. She spoke loud and clear for the people in the back, which is very important. She also took pauses in between sentences when she conveyed an important message. This is especially important in a presentation because it allows the audience to effectively take in the information. Some of the nonverbal communication tactics that I took away from Layla was making eye contact with the audience while she spoke to everybody. She also used her body language, especially her hand gestures when speaking. She talked to the audience and she spoke about herself, and she would add hand gestures to add that extra bit of communication. Another thing that Layla spoke about that is extremely important when presenting is posture. The way that people stand is the first thing that we judge about that person. The way that they stand, the way that they talk, the way that they present themselves before a word even comes out. It is important to keep in mind what you wear when you are presenting. The example that Layla used was going to a funeral. We don't often see people wearing bright colors such as orange, pink, yellow to funerals because in today's society that would be considered rude. We have to keep the same in mind when presenting to an audience, especially in business. We will be finally going over the four main functions of nonverbal communication that Layla provided: expressive communication, interpersonal communication, interaction adjustment, and verbal communication. So expressive communication is used as an example in emojis. Emojis are used in texting because they're able to convey a message through pictures that we're not able to convey verbally. Interpersonal communication deals with the physical touch between two people. Holding hands and hugging is one version. Interaction adjustment is keeping your body language under control. Overdoing it or underdoing it can hurt your presentation, so you want to find the sweet middle ground where it helps your audience better understand what you're trying to present. And the final form is verbal communication. Verbal communication, as Layla said, it adds in detail to what the body language can't. It fills in the spaces. So while we like it or not, people will judge a book by its cover. So we always have to keep in mind what we wear, how we stand, and how we present ourselves when doing a TED Talk, and especially a business presentation. Many times, people who use body language in their verbal communication are raised in this culture. One example we see of this often are Italians. Italians tend to use hand gestures in their form of communication, and it helps better convey the message, and we understand them more clearly because of it. Through globalization, we have been able to better understand different cultures and the way that they use gestures in their form in their communication. While, for example, the peace sign can mean one thing in one country, it can also mean another thing in another. For example, in the UK, the peace sign would not be peace, but it would be something harmful. So we have to remember, especially when using hand gestures and other forms of nonverbal communication, to not overdo it or to be harmful to anybody. Thank you very much.